Tenakoto katua. Welcome to Kōrero With Vaishali, where everyone comes to love, laugh, live the moment and inspires all to live our life in its authentic way, being the best version of ourselves. So today we are on Kōrero With Vaishali, elections for the Tron, Hamilton. So who we have? I know you all would love to know. You're all excited. Me too. So today we have Maxine van Oosten, who is a current councillor for East Ward and Chairperson for Finance Monitoring Committee. And she is standing again for Hamilton East Ward. So, what her campaign says? Her campaign says, standing for a healthy city, which is the basic need, I guess. One where people come first, core services are delivered well, and we protect what makes Hamilton special, our environment, our communities, and our future. So, let's welcome Maxine and find out what does all this mean and what is that best she's trying to bring for our Hamilton city and our people. So let's welcome Maxine. Welcome to Kōrero With Vaishali.
Kia ora, Vaishali, and thank you so much for inviting me to come along onto your podcast. I feel really honoured to be able to do that and that you have given me this platform to be able to let people see who I am.
Oh, thank you. That's lovely to hear that. Yes, definitely. It's my privilege as well to have you here and know what's that best you're trying to bring for our people. So that's what it's all about. So let's get into it. First thing first, could you please tell us more about yourself, professional life and bit of personal life?
I can, yeah. So right now I'm a Hamilton City Councillor. This is my second term on council. Oh, nice. So I've learned an awful lot about how council works, what they do. About me, I came into council from a union background. I was working for NZEI, the Primary Education Union. And, you may have seen a lot of media about teachers and their pay and their value. Well, I absolutely know their value because of my work with them. It was also a really great opportunity to learn about people, actually, and about working collectively with people. It's very much in my DNA. I'm a mum. And I'm a grandmother of 6 grandchildren, so I'm really blessed.
Ooh, you're blessed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I've lived in Hamilton for 33 years. In fact, my surname means from the east, and I like to think I was meant to serve Hamilton East.
Okay, nice. That's wonderful. Thank you. All right. What was your past experience being a councillor? What do you think? What worked well and what do you think did not work well and can be done better way?
Oh, look, that's a really good question and thank you for that. So what works well is being able to work alongside colleagues around great ideas about good vision for our city and to be able to make great a good city out of lots and lots of really different ideas from our community. Being able to distill that through our 10-year plan, through annual plans, etc. And so working alongside Mayor Paula and the other councillors has been really challenging, but a great way to know people. And as I said earlier, a way to work collectively on issues of importance and on things that City Council, that our residents value. Some of the stuff that hasn't worked so well, I guess it's when there is a bit of a disconnect with what we might want to achieve and the timing of it and the consultation that we might have with our public about it so that the public understand the direction that council wants to go. And I think, let's put it out on the table, the toughest things have been what people called speed bumps and in-lane bus stops. Both amazing ideas, but maybe they're a little bit early for their time. There's some really great places to put those outside of schools, beside bus stops and things so that people can get around safely. But we have to be much better at being able to convey those ideas to residents so they understand it too.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right. So if you're elected this time again, what would you like to work on? What are your plans?
Well, I've been the chair of the Finance and Monitoring Committee, and what I've seen there is a growing divide in trust in the community. People see their rates go up, people see small things that council do that they don't support, and they pick on those kinds of things as being really negative. I'd like council to be able to really build some trust in our community so that they know that council is working for them and with them. I think we can do that through our Finance and Monitoring Committee further. We have put already some really good videos and explanations on our website. If people want to go and have a look at that, check it out under Finance and Monitoring Committee. Scroll down to the end and you'll be able to see a couple of videos and a really good explanations on some of the technical terms that get used in there. Finance can be kind of tricky, really. Not everybody understands the terms of it. It can be really technical.
True.
But there's great ways to be able to put it into everyday language so everyone understands.
Okay. Great, thank you. All right. So you have mentioned in your campaign that you would like to encourage healthy city. What does healthy city means for you for Hamilton?
Well, you know what you can do? You can put healthy city over every decision that you make, everything. And that's about being able to centre it back to people. People are the most important thing. It's not the stuff we have, it's not the meetings that we go to or the papers that we produce. It's about great lives for everyday people. Making sure that we've got playgrounds around the corner in your neighbourhood, making sure your kids can get to and from school safely, maybe on a cycleway or on a footpath, making sure our older residents can get around easily on a bus or safely on our footpaths, etc. Making sure our businesses can really connect in to what's available to them in their neighbourhoods and ensuring that we've got all that we need to make our lives the best. And that's what a healthy city is to me.
Great, that's a good one. Thank you. All right, how would you address housing affordability in Hamilton and what actions would you take?
Yeah, that's a really tricky one. I just can't believe how out of control our housing prices are. I am so privileged to be able to own a home for myself, and we have a rental home also in Hamilton. My daughter lives in that. She's a nurse at the hospital, and my grandchildren, 3 of my grandchildren live there. And so, you know, we have such a privilege to be able to do that. But on a nurse's salary, you just cannot afford, she's a single mum, so she cannot afford to own a home and maintain it. And that's our role as a family to help make sure everyone's well provided for. And so I really feel for others in the city who are in the same situation as my daughter. She's a nurse employed and still can't afford to be able to do this. So I think there are ways to be able to do it. We can and do have the ability in council's lane, because we're not developers, we don't own great swathes of land to be able to build housing. And so we've got a couple of things that we can do, I think. Councillor Sarah, the chair of our Strategic Growth Committee, has put up some really great ideas about fast tracking the consenting process.
Oh, yes.
Great way to be able to shorten the time that it takes for developers to do their planning, get it up and going. And that means it's cheaper. If it can happen more quickly, it becomes cheaper.
Yes, sorry to cut you off there, but I heard that had to pay for that faster consent has to be paid more or something like that, if I'm not wrong.
You
so
are
how it's becoming
absolutely correct.
cheaper, sorry.
So it can become cheaper in 2 ways. Firstly, yes, you're correct. It does cost in order to be able to do that. And that's because we'd employ additional staff to be able to get that through more quickly.
True, yes.
But developers tell us that they think there's some value in there because it happens more quickly. The single greatest cost for developers is the time it takes for them to get their ideas up and get the first spades in the ground. And if they can shorten that, then that can make a real difference for them and their costs. And so that's something that I back Sarah on. The second thing is inclusionary zoning. When Sarah and I were first elected, we worked with the Queenstown Lakes Trust. It's a community housing trust in order to be able to understand how they can have inclusionary zoning. So what inclusionary zoning is a way for developers to be able to give back to the city. What happens when they own land, if it's outside of the city, once it gets zoned inside the city, the value of that land goes up hugely and community get no access to that huge increase in the value. And so what happens then is we're asking for them to give 5% of the value of that land either as land or as cash to our community housing providers to be able to build affordable housing on. And so if you take out the cost of the land, then building and providing a home becomes much more cheaply. However, Hamilton can't do it on its own because otherwise developers will just walk out of the city and build in Morrinsville or Tiamutu or Cambridge. So we want to work with our local councils so that we all do that inclusionary zoning together.
Okay.
And that's again about giving back to the people.
Okay, working together and giving back to the people. Okay, great.
There's
Thank
a theme
you.
here, right?
Coming to the next one. Do you think there is any chance for rates to be reduced or can be controlled so that every resident can afford them? What are your thoughts on?
I love this question. Several people asked me this yesterday at the Women's Lifestyle Expo.
Hot topic at the moment, isn't it?
It is. You know why? Rates bills are in letterboxes right now and are right in front of residents, and so they're seeing it. Homeowners are seeing the cost of that now. There is zero chance of them going down. And any candidate that promises you they can do that is lying. So we cannot take them down. But what we can do is look at how we can stop the growth in the rate increases. A couple of things to note there, actually. Government are freeloading. They pay zero rates for any schools, buildings, or any land that they own locally. They don't pay rates. They don't pay development contributions.
Oh, okay.
Zero. They also, government, ask us to pay GST. We pay GST on our rates, and you'll see that on your rates bill.
Yes.
Plus GST. And that, when you add that up across the residents across Hamilton, that's about a bit more than $30 million. Wow. Imagine what we could do with a city if the government was paying its way and returning the GST to us. We could absolutely afford and keep our rates increases lower.
All right. So you mentioned about the core services. What are core services do you think which Hamilton needs?
Oh, look. Do you think core services is another one of those trigger things that are out in the environment at the moment? Core services are critical to Hamilton. Waters, all waters actually. Our drinking water, people want to know that our drinking water is safe and good. We want to be able to take away the wastewater. That's, flushing your loo, being able to get your shower waste away, all of those sorts of things out of your kitchen sink, etc. And of course our stormwater. The stormwater is really an expensive thing for Hamilton City.
True.
And we've seen in more recent times that we've had a lot of inundation with stormwater, and so making sure that we're fit to be able to get that away out of our city streets into our river, into our awa. That's the best thing for us here. Core services also include our roads, making sure our roads are fit for everyone.
Sorry.
Fit for drivers,
Yes.
cyclists, making sure that our buses can get around easily without getting clogged up into the traffic. Those things are really important. And then that we can take away the rubbish. That's the core stuff. But don't forget about our core community services as well. We're sitting in this beautiful library here in Rotorua. We have other libraries around our city. We've got city pools. People love Waterworld. I mean, what kids don't like going there on the school holidays as an activity? And then there's, our environmental stuff that sits alongside the river. We've got a beautiful development that's happening at the moment at Wellington Street Beach. I'm really looking forward to that being completed and opened. It will be a real gem for our local community.
We'd love to come once that's done. We used to live there, that Wellington Beach. We used to live there, and that was our evening walk, and it's
so
place.
special to Hamilton.
I have very special memories around there.
Well, my grandchildren jump off the pontoon there in the summertime. I just love it.
All right, thank you. Okay, so you have mentioned that we had to protect our environment, communities, and future of Hamilton. Coming to environment, what do you think we need to do? And what initiatives will you introduce to promote environmental sustainability in Hamilton?
Well, I tell you what, we already have a fabulous nature in the city plan in Hamilton, which I completely support. I voted in favour of it. We get reported on it every 12 months in the Community and Environment Committee. And that's a really great way to make sure that we're keeping up to date with the promises that we're making in that document. Also, we have a tree canopy strategy to be able to grow the size of our canopy across Hamilton. We're a small place, a small footprint, but as we grow, thousands of trees are cut down every year, and we have to turn that around. And so that's what that plan looks to be able to do. We are only at about 2% a tree canopy at the moment. The strategy asks us to be aspirational and to get to 10%. That's a stretch, but the more we do, the better it is for everyone. I've been involved in Arbor Day plantings right throughout this term and the term before, and that's about being able to put back plants into council-owned areas, into gullies, and we're lucky enough that we've got the kind of gully networks that really can take some nice big trees and development. You've got to call out the great Dr. Seeley, who put in the gully just in Hamilton East in the back of the shops off of Te Aroha Street. And it's just amazing, the regeneration that's happened in there. He's a visionary. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I haven't, I think, okay.
In fact, he took out my tonsils when I was a girl, and then decades later took out the tonsils of my son. It's hard to believe, isn't it? So he was, a great man, not just for his environmental work, but for medicine as well.
Oh, nice. So Dr.
Seeley, yes. And so check out Seeley's Gully. Go have a look at it. Take your kids there. It's beautiful.
Yes, I might have been. I can't.
Yeah, you may have.
Yes, I can't recall the name on top of my head. But being on that side, we used to live there ages ago. So we used to go around when kids were little. So we used to go for walks, and also definitely I might have seen. Yeah. Great, thank you. All right. So what measures will you take to reduce the homelessness and provide the support that they need?
Well, we've seen a whole lot more of it. In the last 12 months than ever before in Hamilton, I think. And I'm holding the torch up to government on this one. It's their decisions that have led us and led Hamilton and led other cities around New Zealand into this situation. And I think what we need to be able to do is to get together with our other councils, with councils across the country. I know that working together works. Working together when you've got a really positive message to take to government, and you are so much more powerful if you work collectively. And that's what I would advocate for.
That's great. Thank you. When you said working together, I would like to ask maybe how do you deal with the conflicts? Because we all are different. We all have different views on specific things. So how do you work around those conflicts if someone says, okay, something that you want to really do it, but someone is not agreeing on? So how do you deal with the conflicts?
Well, I think the best way to be able to do that is around advocacy, enlightenment, being able to talk about my passion for a variety of different things, and to be able to talk to them openly. Ultimately, though, their decisions are theirs, and I can't change people's minds if they're not ready to be able to listen. And so dealing with conflict is having the confidence in your own beliefs and values and using that as your anchor to be able to have discussions, open discussions with colleagues. They, of course, have their views, and sometimes there's a compromise to be had. Other times there's just a difference of opinion, and accepting that that's life and politics, frankly.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right. How will you support mental health services and addiction recovery programs in the city?
Yeah, there's some really great organisations locally that are doing fantastic work in Hamilton to be able to support people with a variety of different conditions. And I think as a compassionate people, we have to be able to be kind, look to be able to find ways to support people in every stage of their life, and do that with understanding. And I guess from a council perspective, our space there is to be able to support those services to be able to do that. And that's the important thing, I think, there for council, that we understand what is in our control and how we can use our influence, I guess, to be able to advocate and support where we can.
Great, thank you. All right. How would you support local small businesses to grow? Do you have any plans?
Oh boy, you just need to go down to Hamilton East to be able to see the explosion of small business and the local economy there. That's my rohe. That's where I get a lot of joy. There's some great development that's happened in there, and Matt Stark needs to be applauded for the work that he's done around MAID. That is, the centre of Hamilton East. It's got its own hemisphere, I think, and it's bringing the whole of that community up. And that's about being allowing businesses to be able to do that, being open to having rules and regulations in our city that doesn't just say we're only going to let you be there in the central city. We need to have hubs in different parts of our city as we grow. People don't want to have to drive all the way across to the base or out to other satellites like Chartwell or what have you. And so allowing those things to be in our local communities is great. I think there's more that we can make about walking and cycling, especially as we're coming out of winter into almost spring, so that now we can walk to where we need to get to. If there's a nice restaurant or some takeaways up the road, a great cafe, being able to buy your essentials at the local Foursquare or dairy. That's always really great to be able to see there. I think we need to be able to have a turnover in our parking. Parking's always a really big deal. True. Oh my gosh, especially in the central city. Yes. It's quite a campaign hook. I think Councillor Sarah was in the paper just this week talking about some ideas that she's got. And
Yes.
boy, she's never short of an idea, that young woman. She's got lots of energy and lots of ideas.
I bet, yes, I had her as well.
And that's really inspiring for,
Definitely,
for people like me to be able to get behind kind of ideas like that. I think we also have to be really mature about our city too.
True.
That actually we cannot keep affording free parking. I think it would be nice to have, but people also talk about nice to haves. We also want to be making sure that there's a turnover in car parks, so that when Auntie gets in her car and goes into the city, she can rely on finding a car park.
True.
Otherwise, what's she going to do? She's going to go elsewhere and not come into the city. So,
exactly.
I think businesses are beginning to understand this. But again, like I said right at the start of our kōrero, that sometimes you've got to wait for the community to catch up. Good ideas, the right time equals a great outcome. Get one of those other two things wrong, and and you're dealing with troubles. Really, you're on the back foot trying to sort it out. Parking's one of those, and I think we all might want to think we're still a cow town and be able to park wherever we want for free.
True, yes, we wouldn't love that, but the fact is, city is growing. We need to be practical and balance it.
We're 190,000 people. That's really close to being, a large city now. And our footprint really hasn't grown much bigger.
Yes, and we are still fastest growing city as well, so that's going to be even a higher number in next few years. That's true. Have you saying that Hamilton East, there is a market or something happens on weekends, right? Have you been to one of those?
The markets in Hamilton East? Oh, yes, yeah. Every month. Every month there's a market up there. Yeah. And that's super busy. It's great, actually, because it's a really good time. A lot of the other stores are closed during that time in the morning, early morning, and so it's a great opportunity to be able to walk up and down and check out the local crafts. There's a great guy on the corner who sells his plants, beautiful flowers. There's books and odds and ends and all kinds of things, bric-a-brac that you might want to take home and treasure.
Nice. Yes, definitely. That's a beautiful place. Thank you. All right. I think we touched on transportation, but we'll go through quick one.
Yeah.
Do you think the existing public transportation is efficient, or do we need to make some major changes so that we are ready for the future, as it's the fastest growing city?
Yeah, so the thing about public transport is that's provided for by the regional council. Hamilton City Council does have a part in that because we provide the bus stops, the raised platforms for people to enter the bus at the right level, and crossings, etc., so that you can get across the road from your bus to the shops or back again. But we do have a role in being able to advocate for Hamilton people, so that we do have a public transport system that's serving our people. We all know that rapid transport that is frequent is the most successful, but it's also the most expensive. And we need to have not just the regional council support on that, but we need to have government support on that as well. Government has to value the efficiency of public transport, and the best way for that to happen is that they pay an equal share in it. And that's what's happened in the past, except they've walked back a little bit on what that share looks like, and they're asking for more passengers to pay more, and that's not always possible when you're on limited income.
Passenger to pay more.
On the fares,
Wow,
and you'll have seen fare rises go up on the buses, and that's a shame because if you're using buses all the time as your transport, they're getting more and more expensive, and I think again that's our opportunity to advocate to government that you're not pulling your weight, and you need to think about what value public transport provides for cities, especially cities like Hamilton as we're growing and getting faster. We want to be able to see the Rototuna rocket being introduced so that you can get from this library to the central library super quick, one every 15 minutes, straight into town. And then people will start using it. We've got a huge population living out here in Rototuna. Yes. And, we need to be able to get them around our city much more conveniently. There's more to be said about buses too, and it's gone out of my brain.
But all right, we'll park it there as I think we are, yes. All right, quickly we'll get through a couple of more. We don't have audience questions today, but I would like to ask, what are the top 3 things Hamilton needs right now?
Hamilton needs to have a mayor with vision and energy and youth. We need somebody we can get behind and support with great ideas, and I think that's what Councillor Sarah offers. I think we also need to have a community that really understands what council provides and that we're providing it for them. And so that's about building trust with our communities. And thirdly, I think we need to have rates that people support and understand the value of. That's me.
Okay, great, thank you. All right, if you're given $1 million grant right now, what would you use it on? What services would you use it on?
Oh, that's a really good question. My goodness, there's so many things that you can do. $1 million, it sounds like a lot of money for a householder, but really in terms of council, it's not a lot.
Sorry, in terms of council only,
so
I'm asking. Sorry.
I think what we would do, what I would want to do with it is to be able to engage with the community. So have, a series of town hall meetings. Maybe once we've got a new council, why don't we just have a round of town hall meetings right around our city to say, hey, these are the people who you've elected. How do you think we can work together to be able to achieve what's good for your suburb or your community? Because it doesn't need to be just suburbs. We've got 170 ethnic communities in Hamilton. They've got needs and wants too. We've got different religions in Hamilton as well. We need to talk to those people too. So I think that's what I would want to do with that money. Show people, not just through your podcast, but so that they can see me live and hear my views and see my passion.
Oh, that's great. So personally, you would like to be connected with communities and know that what's the best you can bring for them, what are their needs.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a great initiative, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome, thank you. All right. Okay, do you have any message for audience? Would you like to say anything to them?
I would, Kia ora and hello, I'm Maxine van Oosten, a current Hamilton City Councillor and Chair of the Finance and Monitoring Committee. I'm standing for re-election and I'm asking for your support to continue being your voice on council. Kia ora.
Great, thank you. All right, so thanks for coming on Kōrero with Vaishali. It's been a pleasure to talk to you and know your plans and your vision for the city. That is amazing. Thank you. And yes, please, doesn't matter whom you vote, please do vote. Check everyone's campaign and whatever aligns to your values, please do vote. Thank you. See you again.